Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're at the property and we are waiting to have some holes dug for some test holes dug for our septic for our perk test. So we're not just waiting. We're a little bit early. Usually never early, but I tricked Bob into thinking it was late 1 instead of 1:30 because the sun. Because it's like I said, we're usually always late, running late. And the lady said midday around 1:30, and I sent Bob a message and told him it was at 1. So then I kind of forgot what time it actually was. And then as we were driving out here, I was like, oh, I think it's actually at 1:30. So now we're just waiting. Just kind of good that we're not running behind. They could have been early. They're not. Just hopefully they're not running behind. So we're out here just kind of hanging out, looking at things, and let's wait and see what they're going to do when they get here. They're going to dig, I think it's 3 holes, about 8 feet deep, and the guy will come and look in it, look at the soil and see what kind of septic that we need to install for this land. Okay, so we'll see you guys in just a little bit.
Who's the other one?
Oh no. So we're sitting here waiting. Stole a kid's dinosaur chair.
I can see. You can see me.
Oh, let's make sure we get Tom in there. There you go. We're just waiting.
Yeah.
Watching the road.
And they will put the video.
And we're supposed to be here at 1:30. I'm wondering if I got the time wrong. I need to. Are you upset? You look a little grumpy. Don't straighten up. Smile. Don't smile.
Don't bite you.
I think that'll make him smile.
Yeah.
So,
I'll bite him again.
I don't know. Let's go ahead. First of all, let's say thank you to everyone that has subscribed to our channel. We really do appreciate you.
63.
I know, it's super exciting to us. We just, it just is. I know that's teeny tiny to a lot of people, but it's huge
Look
for
back
us.
at this video when you're 100,000. How excited you are about 63.
I'm excited about 60. Yes, that's it. We're waiting. Hopefully it won't be like a disappointing news that they didn't show up. Bob only has 2 days a week off, and he is...
But Mama's got a second car now.
Yes, we have a second vehicle, and I've been driving. I've been taking the kids out because it has been, I don't want to say super stressful being at the campground on nice days. And usually if we were, on our own property back in Kentucky, it would be everybody would go outside and run off some energy and be as loud as they could. And here at the campground, they can't do that. They have to stay inside and try to be, as quiet as they can. So we've been getting out and going, driving around and getting out into some of the shops. I've just been learning the roads. I'm a nervous driver.
How many places have you gone?
We've just been a couple of places, but we're getting ready to go to the park. Downtown's a little tight, so I've got to learn how to drive
And
down
the
there.
beach.
And they want to go to the beach.
That the male never drive to the beach so it don't be stressful.
It'll be stressful. Tom talks a lot, and I try to make him to be quiet so that Mom can pay attention, but Tom talks a lot, don't you, Tom? He likes to, but when he's not talking, he's singing.
You want to sing for him, Tom? Go ahead.
So while we're waiting, we just wanted to hop back on here and say thank you for subscribing to our channel. If you have anything that you would like to say in the comments, that also helps when we can get as much interaction with the videos as possible. If there's anything else that you would like to see, any questions that you all have for us, we're happy to answer. Things that we don't think that you would be interested in, maybe you are. Who knows? So just ask. And if we don't want to answer it, I guess we just won't answer it.
Mama,
Pretty transparent.
Yes,
We don't really care.
we don't have secrets.
So. My light on, don't fire right here.
Oh, so next week we actually are scheduled to have our well drilled. So after this week, I'm not really sure on how the process is going to go. Once the perk test is done, and they can, I guess they're just ready to start putting in the septic because I mean I don't see why they would drag it out very much longer. So once the perk test comes back, Lord willing, it'll be good, and we can just go ahead and do a standard system.
Real black, and then do a tree house and
You gonna show them a picture of our neighbors?
Gravel pit. We're next door to a gravel pit, which a lot of people, that's probably why it was
I'd much rather have that than a bunch of neighbors.
cheaper. However, the sound doesn't really bother us. It doesn't bother us at all. If you've not noticed, in our videos we're kind of loud. Well, I'm not loud. He's loud, and all of his children are loud. And
That rubbed off on her.
so it'll help us to kind of drown out our noise so that we're tolerable.
We'll be louder than the gravel pit.
Alright, so we're going to sit here and hang out for a little bit longer. The baby's napping, so that's good.
Until they get here.
Until they get here. We'll probably give them a few 15 more minutes maybe, and
No, 1 hour maybe.
call and see if I got it wrong somehow, which I did. It was May 5th, 1:30.
Today's the 4th. Tomorrow's the 5th.
No, it's not. Alright, so we're just going to hang out. As soon as they get here, we'll show you what they're going to do. And we'll do
So,
it.
we're getting ready to go out and get our diesel fuel and do a couple errands.
Because I
Jonah's
just
got
called.
to pee. That's what I was going to tell her. She needs to get a.
Oh,
We've got the camping.
Stop.
We got
Anyway.
the camping toilet seat that goes on top of the 5-gallon bucket, the little porta potty, and we're gonna have to get it for the girls because
just
we're always
called.
having to hurry up and leave.
We are always having to hurry up and leave. We just called and they are, I was like, hey, just wanted to make sure that you guys were still coming today. And yeah, we're running behind. And I said, well, is it going to be, are we still on your way? What time? About an hour or two, so. So we were loading up.
Yeah.
And we just got all of our chairs in, and now they were pulling up. So here they are, not late after all. Well, they're 30 minutes late. But.
Now, baby, come on, come.
Water content just right. I got a little bit too much water. But you get the water content right, and then you just kind of push it over your finger, and you see like it doesn't ribbon at all. It doesn't ribbon really long, and that just gives you a good idea. Gives you an idea on how much sand, silt, clay is in there. This ribbon's just a little tiny bit, and it's really coarse. So I would call this a sandy loam is one size, and then you add the rock content, and that changes the sizing a little bit. Like I was saying, it goes down.
Okay, so this is hole number 2.
So obviously, people living in a house, you're going to do laundry, showers, wash your hands, whatever, use the toilet. And that water, when you're out in the country, has to go somewhere. A lot of people in cities don't even realize where their wastewater goes, and they move up here, and they don't even know what a septic system is. And so a septic system is a way to treat your wastewater like on an individual house basis. Typically, individual houses are connected to them. You can have more houses connected to them if you want. But anyways, so your wastewater it'll leave the house, it'll go into a septic tank, which needs to be sized to the house. A 3-bedroom house needs at least a 1,000-gallon tank. 4-bedroom, 1,000-gallon kind of size goes up from there. Those are the numbers that Idaho uses. But your wastewater needs to hit the septic tank, and then the tank needs to be big enough so that the water can stay in the tank for enough time so that all the solids can separate from the liquid, and like your initial wastewater treatment kind of happens there. So when the water leaves the tank, it really needs to be just water. Like if you're like dumping garbage down your drains and stuff, like, so if you get your kids flushing Pop-Tart wrappers and whatever, popsicle wrappers and
Toy cars.
Whatever. Yeah, sure. So if that sort of stuff's getting flushed out, toilets, down drains, whatever, it goes into the tank, and it might not separate, it might not settle to the bottom of the tank, and it might not, well, obviously it's not going to disintegrate. So it's possible for that to get out into your drain field, and in the drain field, there's a few different things you can use. Like, so if you guys wanted to use like a gravelous product, you could do that. There's a few gravelous products approved in Idaho, or you can use rock and pipe. I see a lot of rock and pipe up here. So a rock and pipe, we'll just use that as an example. You would dig a drain field in, whatever, let's call it 2 feet. So dig your drain field in 2 feet, then you put 6 inches of rock in, a specific rock that the health district approves. So like not just any rock, but the health district will approve a rock from, whatever your favorite gravel pit is, and so you put 6 inches of rock down, and then you put a perforated pipe on top of that 6 inches of rock, and then you lay down another 6 inches of rock. So you end up with, the rule is at least 6 inches of rock under the pipe and at least 2 inches of rock over the top of the pipe. And that pipe's got perforated holes. Well, it's perforated. So when the effluent comes out of the tank, it hopefully spreads the length of your trench and perforates out of the pipe, ideally through the length of the drain field. If that pipe's flat, it'll do a pretty good job equally distributing it. But then your effluent just gets treated by the soil. But if you've got like garbage and stuff going out there, it's going to clog up all your perforations in the pipe, and you're going to have a problem. Your drain field's not going to last very long. But that's pretty much how it works. House creates the wastewater. Wastewater goes into the tank. The solids separate out, and then hopefully it's just liquid coming out to the drain field, where the soil takes care of the rest. The soil will build up bacteria, so that's why having soil is important. Like there's a lot of rock in this soil. Obviously, the rock itself doesn't have any holes in it. The water is not going to go through it, so you're not going to get any treatment. That's why the drain field size increases. You've got a lot of rock. Things you can do to make your drain field last longer. If you get your tank's going to build up a layer in the bottom, a solids layer or a sludge layer. I don't know that's what they call it, but a sludge layer in the bottom. And as that builds up, your tank volume decreases, and that causes the water going into the tank to not have enough time to separate out. Because if you start out with, we'll just say you start out with 1,000 gallons, you got 200 gallons a day going into there. That 200 gallons a day, that water will on average be in the tank for 5 days before it gets flushed out. But if you're down to, let's go to another extreme, down to 200 gallons of capacity, that water's not, it's going to sit in there for a day. It's not going to have enough time to separate out. So not flushing down, but greases going down your drains. Like if you guys, whatever, bacon grease, let's call it bacon grease. If you're dumping hot bacon grease down your lines, that has the potential to greatly reduce the life of your drain field. Because that grease is going to hit your drain lines, and if it just wreaks havoc. So, but yeah, drain fields have a lifespan. They're going to typically last 15 to 25 years, something like that. They're not going to last forever. Eventually, the soil, all the little soil particles, they're going to end up with a bunch of dead bacteria in it, and it's going to kind of turn into an algae mat. It'll kind of turn into a black mat, and it'll just seal up, and it's kind of the way it goes. So the more you can take care of your drain, your tank, your drain field, and what you're flushing down the toilets and into the sinks, the longer your drain field will last. It's lots easy. There's no groundwater here. You don't have the surface water's 800,000 feet, whatever, that ditch out in the field out way the heck out there.
Yeah.
But as far as Idaho goes, and I know other states are different, but as far as Idaho goes, it's important to know where your drain field might go, or where it has to go, or where it's only permitted to go. So if you're buying a lot that has a lot of water on it, it has groundwater or something, it's a wetland.
Wetland.
Yeah,
Deep Creek, and it was classified as wetland.
So if it's wetland, you've got a cool creek going through it or something, that might be a problem for your drain field, depending on what kind of soil you have and how much room you have.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so rock and pipe drain fields use rock and pipe, obviously, and then as far as Idaho goes, the gravel-less stuff that we see here are typically the infiltrator, the dome. They call it the Perc 36 biodiffuser dome or something like that. And then they also have the infiltrator, 1203 or something like that, I think they call it. But essentially, what the dome is, like a plastic. It's a plastic dome. You dig your trench, you put the dome in, and then you backfill it after it's inspected. But it's pretty simple to put in. And then the easy flow stuff, that's more or less it's packing peanuts wrapped in
Right. You know what he's talking about,
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, it's wrapped in a mat, like a fish net kind of, and they're 10 feet long, and there's 3 pieces to them, and they typically go in a 3-foot wide trench, and there's 3 pieces, and on the outside, when you install it on the outside, you end up with let's call it the dummy piece or something. So it's only packing peanuts on the outside. In the middle, there's a perforated pipe that you hook up, and that's what you hook up to your tank. Right. And you can keep hooking them up. One 10-foot section to the next 10-foot section, and then there's on the other side there's another one with no perforated pipe in it. And typically you would install that in a 3-foot wide trench. You could install either of those in the 6-foot wide trenches, I suppose, but typically you would install them in a 3-foot wide trench. And in Idaho, if you do use those gravel-less products and you put it in a 3-foot wide trench, Idaho gives you, and other states might do the same thing, I don't know, but a 25% reduction in size. So just keep numbers easy. Say you need 400 square feet, and you put in a gravel-less product in 3-foot wide trenches, you could reduce the size by 25%. So instead of putting in
300 feet.
Yeah, so instead of putting in the 400 square feet, you can put in 300 square feet. I think that's the way the math works on that one.
The price probably comes out about the same, or
I can't tell you on the. I couldn't tell you on the price.
That would probably be more of a quantity thing, depending on how much room you got.
For homeowners say it's easier to install the gravel-less stuff. You know, you just dig a trench and throw the stuff in, and you're good to go.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll just take this for example. Say your drain field comes out here. Just make sure your well is at least 100 feet away. So it looks, you know, I mean, I know I measured it. That little brush pile was 90 feet from way over there somewhere. So, I mean, you got enough room here. And then your water lines have to be at least 25 feet away from the drain field.
Okay.
At least 10 feet away from the tank and the line from the tank to the drain field. Okay. So, just kind of keep that in mind. I mean,
25 feet, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty obvious your water line will be way up there. Plenty of room. And as far as the trees go, obviously there's going to be a swath of trees that you guys have to take out. And then, you know, some people don't like their drain field. Like, if you were to look up and see the branches overhanging, you know, some people... Yeah, the roots on a lot of trees are generally out kind of that far, you know, so a lot of people kind of like to keep it out from underneath the trees, you know. But that's kind of up to you guys. Like, this whole area will be approvable. There's good soil here. Obviously got a lot of rock, but the soil's good. And yeah, you just kind of lay it out however you want. You guys paid the full fee for this, so you paid for a whole permit.
Yeah, an arm and a leg.
It is not inexpensive. That is true.
Right.
So I'll take my information that I wrote down here, and then I will take that to the office, and I will write you a permit. That permit will go to whoever's email this is. It looks like it's probably your email. It'll get sent to your email, and then you guys can do whatever you want with it after that. The permit's good for a year from the date I write it.
Well, Ron, we thank you very much, and we thank you for sharing the information and the wealth of knowledge, and we hope that it helps everybody out there that's wondering how it happens, how it works.
Sure. Yep. If you guys got any questions on it, like, you can just call me or email me, text me, whatever. It doesn't matter now.
Perfect.
Great.
I'll help you out any way I can.
So, approved.
Thanks.
So he just flattened our hump. Now we can drive all the way into the property. Show us how it looks, Tommy. It's flat and it's nice. If you guys remember, there was this big hump. That's why we never did drive all the way into the property. We're going to go look. So he has filled in both holes. Tom did not. He said he's going to dig it back up because he didn't get to get in it just because it was so loose. So we were afraid that it might fall in around him, a rock or something, because it was very rocky. Here it is. Ooh. This is nice, isn't it? You think you're going to dig it as deep as it was? I don't know. Let's go look at the other. How's that feel, Rob?
I'm ready to get me a piece of equipment in here.
That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, did you see? Now turn around and look. That's how it opened it up.
Yeah, I know. Look at that sun coming in. Yeah. Just seeing the work and the progress and the potential. First of all, just the potential. It just feels so good. Look at that sunshine coming in. All right, so we are walking through and we're going to go look at the other hole that got dug in, filled in, dug and filled in. Oh! Branches. Let's see how it looks. Let me show you. Have progress. So exciting. Let's see. Oh, it just looks so nice, all like flat. I mean, I'm overlooking all the debris that's got to be moved, but oh, okay, so yay. Now we can see. So this, I was not even paying attention. So this, that big pile of debris. That's where we're going to put the cabin. So, right out here. Yeah, right there. You remember. Okay. So it's getting some nice sun. He knocked down a couple little trees and. So we have. He approved it. The soil looks good. Now we will make. Oh, what happened? So now we will wait on his email, and then we'll be able to take that into the septic company and to go ahead and make the arrangements to get them out here and to put it in. You know, have them install it. So hopefully it won't take too long. We'll definitely keep you updated on when that will be. And now, now that we know where we can put the septic, we will go ahead and give the go ahead to the well drillers to be out here next week. So the well, okay, he said it had to be like 100 feet from it.
Well,
so we're gonna
and what we need to do then, now that we know it's approved,
yeah,
is get them out here.
What?
Where's your camera?
Mm-hmm. What is it?
A worm?
Ooh,
What is that?
nice.
What is that?
It's just a rock.
A special rock.
Hold on to it.
Cool. It looks like an egg, and that's the egg yolk on the inside. See it?
No, it's
Maybe
not.
that's a dinosaur egg
Cool.
from gazillions of years ago.
Oh wow, it's really old, huh?
We don't believe that.
I know. You got to remind me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that wraps it up, and yeah, at least it wasn't bad news. We were not expecting bad news, but you know, it just kind of happens. All right,
Look at Jed.
see you guys later. I will.
No,
I'll end with Jed.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye. Look at Jed.
Say hi, Jed. Huh?
What are you doing? Yeah.